Hi, it's Jen Freeman with TipResource.com, and I'm here with Chris. I think you'll recognize him from Extreme Couponing.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so what we all want to know is, how did Chris get involved in extreme couponing? I want to know.
Well, couponing started out as simply just a way of survival with my family. Growing up, we didn't have a whole lot. So my mom did the couponing thing to help offset costs. And me learning it around 7, 8 years of age, kind of picked up on it. And then later in life, I got 2 roommates, and they put me in charge of the grocery shopping because they're just lazy. And I realized that to spend $100 to feed 3 college guys is tough. But with coupons, possible. And from there, it just kind of went off. I got married, shared the same idea with my wife. She loves it. And now we just, with our hearts to want to give and help and serve people, you know, Jesus says it's better to give than receive. And we totally believe that. And, so coupons is the way to do that. I don't have a 6-figure bankroll, but with my coupons, I can go big. I can do so many things. And you know this. I mean, you coupon. You know, it's so cool to be able to donate, help people out. You know, that's close to our hearts, you know, being able to help.
So now I have to ask you about the new show.
Sure.
Extreme Couponing All-Stars.
All-Stars.
Okay, so what does that mean to you?
I don't know. It was like, hey, we've filmed thousands of people, applicants, and we've got it down to like 1,000. Of those 1,000, we want to pick like 24 of the best of the best. The best of the best. The creme de la creme. And we want to put you guys head to head, and we want to come out and see if we can find somebody that can pull off the biggest haul for the lowest amount. That's the premise. You know, and you've been on there, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So we've had our try at it.
Yes.
You know, we're still waiting to get the results, you know,
Yes.
where are we at in the pecking order kind of thing.
Yes.
But yeah,
filming didn't happen yet.
No. But, you know, when it does, you know, hopefully, Lord willing, it turns out good, beneficial. The editors are gracious, you know.
Yeah. I don't really pray over the editors.
Yeah,
And
it's
man,
like-
their swift hand.
Yeah, oh, God. Bless
Exactly.
them. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I think the part with the Extreme Couponing All-Stars that had any interest to me is the fact that it was for charity.
Absolutely.
Because really, for us personally, to probably do the show again, I didn't have a lot of desire.
Sure.
But when it was like, you know, this is going to be for charity, like, let's do it. We'll
Yeah.
figure out how to do it.
Sure.
Take the time, let's do this. Because that was worth it.
Yeah, we when they asked us to do it, that was one of the first questions we asked is, where does the stuff go? Because I don't want to be part of a show where it's about glorifying the people who take it and keep it for themselves. That's completely not the way that I am built, designed. It's not my DNA, whatever, to do it that way. So when they were like, oh, it all goes to charity, I said, I want to see it in writing. Yeah. So they sent me a document showing the pilot, how it's supposed to go. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm on board. Yeah. You know, and we could be a little competitive. I'm okay with that. Yeah. You know, because in the end result, it's a win-win. Whether we lose or we win or it's a tie or whatever it is, the fact that those other people have to give it to charity and not put it in their basement, I'm so excited about that.
That really is the best part. Because really, if any more that comes from the Extreme Couponing All-Stars side of it is, what can you do for charity and for benevolence and for people around you?
That's right.
It isn't all about bringing it into your 4 walls all the time. It's
not at
how
all.
can you expand what you've learned?
Sure.
You know, help other people around you. So when it comes to the benevolent side and being able to give, what's your favorite part of that? Obviously, besides the aspect of I get to give.
Sure.
But what else does it do for you? What else is it?
I think for myself, knowing just the command that Jesus has is to help out your neighbor. Mm-hmm. Me and my wife, we're so passionate about living out our faith and being so real and transparent. And for a lot of folks, say they're Christians and that, but with couponing, it gives us the ability to put feet to our faith. We can actually reach out and love our neighbor as ourselves. You know, if you've ever been in a tough spot, you know what it's like to have need. So when we see someone that has need, we can do something about that. We can use our coupons and make a difference. Yeah. You know, so leaving that impact, leaving that legacy, that's what we're about.
So explain a little bit to me how you go about this. Are you just going couponing every week, and then what you get, you donate? How does this process work if I were to live with you for a month?
Sure. We actually have some really great relationship with store managers that we've been working with for years. And what we do is, for them, they understand the process of the coupon, that they get the profit on the back end, the 8 cents, as we know, that little cliche. So them knowing that and us doing volume, we just pre-order it. We show up, we ring out. It happens about once a week that we do a big haul. Nothing like what you see on TV. That's a little way too big. But, you know, we're very familiar with $1,000 orders because like, there's a huge need where we live. Now, we've got the city mission. We've got women's shelters that are filled with women that have been battered by boyfriends and such, and they need items. Like, they don't have an income. They're sitting there trying to get themselves on their feet, get their confidence back. You know, they've been battered physically, emotionally, and so they're not to have to worry about the staple items in life, that they're going to be there for them. That's moving.
It is pretty amazing. With couponing, is it gives you the ability to give something that maybe financially you couldn't.
Absolutely.
If you don't have $1,000 to give this month, how can you turn your $100 into $1,000?
That's right.
That's what I want to be able to learn, to teach people.
Sure.
So if you're going to take somebody brand new into couponing, what is it they could do today to make a difference in their community?
Sure. The first thing that we teach is to buy paper. That is the key. That's the absolute key, because the paper on the Sunday paper has the coupon you're looking for. So we're able to leverage our money. For me, the best way to do this is to leverage 10 to 1 or better. So you mentioned the $100 or $1,000. I love that. That's exactly how I roll. Okay. I love getting things that I pay $1 for that are worth 10. I pay $10, they're worth 100. Yeah. And if you can get it for nothing, that's even better, right?
Free is always perfect.
Free is always good,
yes.
right?
Well, you know, it's like the one thing I've learned in this process of extreme couponing, which I think that you have too, is there isn't any excess in charity.
No, the needs are so great across this world.
Well, and it's really tough now, especially in the U.S., because we have the middle class poor is what it's turned into. People who didn't have a problem feeding their families today are wondering how they will feed their families tomorrow. Yeah. And really through couponing, I think that we have a different platform to go from to say, okay, guess what? We can actually teach you now kind of how to fish.
Absolutely.
You know, it's to help with the tools. And
I love the way you said that, because so many times it come up, people will be like, hey, tell me how to do this, or get me this, get me that. Mm-hmm. And I love your heart, because like I feel the same way. I could very easily take you out and get all the stuff for you. Mm-hmm. But the problem with that is, and this is fundamental, Jesus was about teaching men how to fish. You know, if he always gave the fish, you're always relying on him, which isn't a bad thing in and of itself. But what if he's not around? Right. What if he's busy doing something else? Same with us. We're busy people. We have families, things that are heavy on our heart. So if we can teach other people how to do this for themselves, they're self-sufficient. That's a win-win.
Well, it's exponential, because now that person can go teach somebody else.
Sure, your influence is so much greater.
Yes.
It's not just me helping you. It's me helping you to help others, to help others, to help others. It's incredible.
But I guess that's, from what I'm hearing from you, is that's really what the world of extreme couponing in this show has opened up for you.
Absolutely.
It's opened up that platform.
Sure. You know, we're excited to be able to have the opportunity to share our hearts to want to give. Our hearts want to see others want to give. You know, we put in perspective this way. You know, when it first approached us about doing this, we're like, I don't know, it's kind of hokey. We're just not the kind of people we are. We're just regular folk, you know, from the country. And but I said to myself, you know what? If we wanted to pay a network to let us go on to have a 12-minute commercial, it would probably cost us $6 to $12 million to do it. Right. Instead, to let us do it for free. Yeah. You know, and it's fun. I'm meeting great people like you. You know, like crazy. Who would have thought the coupons ever would have got us where we are today?
Yeah.
You know,
how would that connection have ever come in our life?
Never.
I mean, only underneath this umbrella.
I think to a large degree, many people who coupon do give. It may not be on film, but they do give. It's just here's been my experience with couponing. If we're in the store and there's people there who got their phones out trying to figure out the price on something, a couponer will walk up quietly, take the coupons over their shoulder, say, "Hey, use these." Yeah. Whisper in their ear, tell them how to do it, and on they go. That's what couponers are, because we've been in places, we know what it's like to need help people out. You know, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about this idea of helping meet needs for those around us. You know, that's so great about couponing. You know,
it's fun. It really is. And I think for the majority of couponers, and sometimes the show, I don't know if it necessarily expresses it, but with the extreme couponers, it really is, they're giving. Sure. It's very rare if you're coming across somebody that is just taking it for themselves. Sure. But it is a lot of fun. Mike and I had an experience not long ago in the store, is that we were with a couple that was trying to buy dish soap. And you know, and it's like the auto dish soap, and I have these great coupons, and I'm like, I didn't want to think that, you know, I was like eavesdropping on them. Yeah, really. So I'm telling Mike, I'm like,
we all do it. We all do it.
I know. Should I just go ahead and give them these? Because I don't want to be like, you know, I'm hearing them talking about the expense of this. Sure. But so, anyways, we gave them the coupons, and it was so fun to walk out of the store about the same time they did, and they were so happy. They're like, how much money this saved us, and it's so much fun. It's great. That side of giving. And, you know, even though it wasn't shown on the first 2 seasons of Extreme Couponing, I think almost every single one of those Extreme Couponers did donate. They do. I know. I have some of them are good friends of ours, and we know that they give. And it was unfortunate that maybe it didn't come across as blatant or as obvious as it should. Right. But most people who coupon, they give. They're generous people. They realize this has an excess. There's only a few that are very greedy and selfish, and those are few far between. Exactly. The majority of people are really giving. But that's where the All-Stars came in. It's like, now we get to have a platform for this. This is great. Show how we're giving. So how can you teach somebody in these few minutes to give to their community? Where do they start? What do they do? Sure. There's different ways. People all have different gifts. Some people's gift is hospitality, like to give, like to serve. While others, maybe it's like a mathematical kind of deal, finance, background, whatever it is. But the basics of couponing, from a couponing perspective, we teach, get a paper, take the paper, break it down, find some coupons. Even if it's stuff that you don't buy for yourself,
Pick it up because it's on sale. It's a great deal, and you can give it to a food pantry, give it to a food bank. You know, your one can of soup is so critical. And you know why? You cannot defeat hunger by doing huge loads of food. That's not how it's done. Defeating and conquering hunger is done one meal at a time, one can of soup at a time, one person at a time.
Right, absolutely. Well, and one thing I like to try sharing with people is if you see something at the store that you know is a really good deal, might be 25 cents is what you're going to spend on the box of potatoes.
Cheap.
Well, you may not use those. Go ahead and take your coupons, get it. I have a box in our garage, and I just put our donation things in there. Don't even bring it in your house. Just put it in there. Somebody will use that. Somebody needs it. And then just once a month, take it down. You know, just grab something if you see it.
That's a great point. But sometimes people think, I can only give it if it's free. No. If you get it for cheap, you know, give it away. Because we're all in different social brackets here. There's people out there that have six-figure incomes. You know, so for them to go out and drop $100 and stuff and drop it at the charity is great. But for most of us, that's not a situation. For most of us, if I'm getting it for $1 or under, that's a great donation item. Because the things that are higher value, I have to take care of my family first. Once my family needs are met, then everyone else around me can share in the blessing.
Exactly. Well, and even the challenge of, say my grocery bill is at $600.
Sure.
And once I apply principles of savings, I get it down to $400. What would happen if I added it to up to $450 and took $50 and bought items in particular with that $50 to donate? I'm still $150 savings, and now I have the ability to give, because now I can turn that $50 actually probably into $150.
Easy,
you know?
Easy.
So it's a matter of
don't be so humble. You could probably put it like $400.
But you know, it's like, what can you do? Well, I don't have the $100, but I have the $20 that I will turn into $100 or whatever that is.
Absolutely.
Just trying to encourage people. That's what we call couponing angels.
Okay.
It's a person who's just blessing somebody else with a little bit of their effort.
I love that.
That's
couponing angels. That's really cool.
Yeah. Now we're couponing all-star angels.
Got little wings, right?
But you know, it's just about trying to bless somebody. And it's like, how can we do it? Let's try to bring each other hope.
Sure.
Let's do that.
It's an encouraging message. It really is. You know, because in the age we live in, it's all about self. It's all about me. It's just so counterculture to look over your shoulder at someone who needs it more than maybe you do and help them out. That's really cool.
And a lot of people that are in a position right now of not being able to feed their family or struggling, they're not telling people around them because they're not the person you would think is struggling.
That's right.
So you don't really know who your dollar's helping. Right. Just give. And even if you don't know that your neighbor needs something, if you do have something extra, why don't you say, hey, you know what? I actually got 3 boxes of this. Do you want one? You don't know that they may have needed that to help feed their family tonight.
There's just a really neat quote I want to share with you. This is really neat. It says, I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do. That's a really neat quote.
That's pretty cool.
It puts in perspective that, you know, don't look at the negative side of what you can't do, but focus on what you can do. If it's only 1 can of soup, that's 1 can of soup that parents didn't have before you got there. And that is making a difference.
Absolutely.
1 person, 1 meal at a time.
Absolutely. Great. Well, it's good to meet you.
Yeah.